Good evening, y'all. Welcome to The Real in Cyber. My name is Jay, and I'm bringing a real back to cybersecurity. So tonight's lesson is going to be about what? Non-traditional ways to break into cybersecurity. I know y'all been waiting for this one. But before I get started, y'all go ahead and click the subscribe. I don't want you to leave me just yet after this lesson now, but you're going to learn the foundation of cybersecurity. So whether you're brand new, a pivot, or experienced in your career, you'll be able to learn the basics to know how to restructure and properly pursue your career. So let's go ahead and get started. The basic requirement for an entry or junior level cybersecurity job is a 4-year degree, whether a computer science degree or equivalent. So if that's an engineering degree, a cyber degree, any type of tech degree, they're normally looking at for entry into the cybersecurity industry. But did you know there are non-traditional ways to get the foundational credentials outside of a degree to help you break in? Some are hard skills, some are soft skills, but let's go ahead and talk about the first one, which is the most important in my eyes: networking. Why don't y'all talk to people? If you're in college, you need to be talking to your professors, your advisors. If they have a cybersecurity program, that means that some companies are sponsoring that collegiate institution. You need to be talking to people while you're in college. When you're in the industry, you need to be networking with your peers. It is very important. If you're in the military, and I'm going to get on that shortly, you need to be talking to cyber departments throughout your commands or your units. Networking outside of any hard credential is one of the most important ways of breaking into cybersecurity. And I feel like as a former hiring manager myself, a lot of people fall short. So what I'm going to recommend is network. You never know who you're going to run into. One is the military. I'm a retired Navy Chief IT. If it was not for the 20 plus years I served on active duty in the United States Navy, my career would be nowhere near as far along as it is in cyber. I gained all of my knowledge because of being introduced to cybersecurity by the Department of Defense in 2009. If you are serving in the United States military at any capacity, especially if you hold a current security clearance, secret or above, you are in a great position right now. And you should not only be taking advantage of all of the benefits you have with schooling and things to that extent. I'm going to do a totally separate video on that. But you should be networking with those cyber departments for your units, your commands, because they all have them. Even if they're not on site right where you are, you need to be talking to somebody who can talk to somebody. Because if it was not for the Navy, I would not be in the position I'm in cybersecurity. So the second one is the military. It was introduced by the Department of Defense and the U.S. government. And it's one of the most accessible ways to gain a security clearance, depending on what you're actually doing in the military. So do not sleep on the military. It's the cheat code. It's transferable skills. A lot of you want to pivot into cybersecurity, but you're unsure whether or not your current skills will transfer over into the cybersecurity industry. Believe it or not, a lot of you have transferable skills. Healthcare, project management, supply chain. All of your jobs in some way, shape, or form can transfer over to some roles into cybersecurity, or at least some skill sets. What I would recommend you do is talk to a solid resume writer and have them look at your current skills and then look at cybersecurity jobs for junior and entry level positions, or it could be a position to position pivot. However, it may not be a salary to salary match because remember, you're coming into a new industry. But someone who has a tech background. Now, my recommendation is Brad James. Brad J resumes. He did my last resume. He's phenomenal, and he's great at being able to pull your current skills out over to the cybersecurity roles that you're interested in going into. So what I would recommend is a strong resume writer who has the background to be able to pull those transferable skills over. But you never know unless you try. Fourth way, boot camps. I ain't gonna hold you. Boot camps are expensive. They're an accelerated way to sit down in a classroom environment, normally 5 days, and gain the knowledge needed in order to take a certification exam. And I talked to you in one of my previous videos about certifications and certificates. You want to go to boot camps to get certifications, not certificates. Like I said, they are expensive. I went through my CISM, which is Certified Information Security Manager boot camp. I had self-studied for 5 weeks, but I just went to the boot camp. My company paid for it in order for me to gain the knowledge or verify certain things as far as my own personal knowledge and experience before taking the test. And that class was $3,500. It was on sale. The original price was $5,500. Yeah, they are not cheap. But if you got the bag, go for it. However, there are other methods to be able to gain the same knowledge, but a lot of people say, well, I don't do self-study well. I want to sit in the classroom. In cybersecurity, you're going to pay to play. So that's an accelerated way to be able to do it. Boot camps. And like I said, they are beneficial. Do they guarantee jobs? No. Does it guarantee you a pass? No. However, if you want an accelerated way to gain the knowledge in a classroom type of setting, boot camps are the way to go. So that's the 4th way. Speaking of certifications, the 5th way, if you have never understood cybersecurity, because a lot of people like to make cybersecurity look like it's a get-rich-quick scheme, and that's not what we're doing over here at The Real in Cyber. If you want a solid understanding of cybersecurity or a base understanding through credentialing companies, a lot of these companies have starter certifications and or certificates. My recommendation, the ISC Squared 1 million certified in cybersecurity. Now, Microsoft has one, Cisco has one, IBM has one, Google has one. Just about every major industry certification company has a cybersecurity starter course. However, what makes ISC Squared stand out versus the rest, it actually has a certification credential to it. Meaning you'll get a certificate with a certification number, all of that. And like I stated in my other video, a certificate just says that you completed a course. You won't see on most cybersecurity job descriptions a certificate. They want certifications. So when you go through, you're getting a solid understanding, you're taking a test, you're passing that test, you get a certificate with a certification number on it. And yes, it identifies that you've been through a foundational course to understand cybersecurity. Now, are they looking for that in job requisitions? No, but does it show the employer that you're taking the time out to get a foundational understanding and actually certify? Yes. And for me, that would be a plus. So starter programs for brand new people, I would definitely recommend it. Make sure you go do your homework online. Just put in 1 million certified in cybersecurity and that should help you out. Last one, internships and apprenticeships. A lot of people go to job fairs, but you never ask the hiring managers or the recruiters, do they have internship or apprenticeship programs? That is the other way outside of the military with gaining certain accesses to companies that can take you from internship or apprenticeship to full-time hire. I highly recommend when you all are going to these job fairs and showing your resume and you're networking and you're pitching yourself to ask the hiring managers and recruiters if they have any type of internship or apprenticeship for cybersecurity personnel. And that's pretty much it. 6 non-traditional ways to break into cybersecurity. Make sure y'all subscribe and there's more on the way. But other than that, y'all stay safe out there, stay vigilant, stay secure. Y'all have a good night.